can't believe it's actually been a year since we moved in. So we moved in January last year. It's now the like beginning of February. It's been a year and a month since we moved in. Steve and I were actually sat down the other day having a chat about lessons that we've learned, things that we would do differently, and I thought I would share them with you guys. It's kind of nice to be able to sit down and reflect on what went well and what hasn't, but I thought this might be helpful for you guys as well, in case anyone else is looking at doing any kind of like renovation work. This is the first project that we have done. It's definitely the biggest project we've ever done, and it's the only one that we've done that we've actually lived in as well. So there's been a lot of like big lessons that we've learned along the way. So I'm just gonna dive straight in. Steve and I made like a bit of a list of things that kind of sprung to mind. So the first thing is create an escape. This is actually something that we did do and has been an absolute godsend. So when you live in a renovation project, stuff gets messy, gets unorganized, it's a bit chaotic, and it is quite difficult to shut it off. So one of the first things we did when we moved in, literally like unloaded the packing van, and then we got started decorating our master bedroom. It wasn't a complete makeover. We are actually remakeovering it now. But what we did was just like strip the wallpaper back, did a lick of paint on the walls, got our furniture in, hung some art, just made it like a nice kind of sanctuary that we could shut ourselves away from all the other chaos going on. And honestly, that has been one of the things that's kept me sane throughout this whole renovation process, is knowing that I could just go in that room, shut the door, I could watch a movie in there if I want, or, you know, read a book, just chill out and not have to think about the chaos going on elsewhere in the house. So I would definitely recommend that. So second point is take your time. This is actually one of Steve's points that he made about me, because I am always in like a rush to do things, and I don't know, I feel like I've got a bit of chaotic energy going on where like I always just want to get things done now, and I try and rush stuff just to get it done. But in reality, it's like, it takes as long as it takes. When you rush, then you're going to get frustrated, you're going to mess up on stuff, which is quite often what I do. And then you get more and more frustrated, and it's a vicious circle. So just like take your time, there's no need to rush into things. Like I definitely felt the pressure with like Christmas coming up. I'd set myself a deadline of Christmas, which didn't really matter. It didn't matter at all. So like, just take your time, take a step back, don't get stressed, and yeah, just chill. Third thing is shop smart. This is one of my favorite ones. So you guys know that I am a bargain bitch. I will always hunt for a good offer. So there's quite a few different scenarios, like shopping sales. I've said this before, but we've just done our bathroom, and all of our tile, I had a sample of that tile for so long. We weren't really like, we didn't need to order it. We weren't in a rush to do the bathroom. And I saw that B&Q had a huge sale on. I think it was like 30% off tiles and bathrooms. So strike while the iron's hot. I got them at that really good discounted price, and it saved us like quite a lot of money in the end. Also look at things like, there's different like voucher codes that you can get, shop around, even shop on Facebook Marketplace for some things. I like the kind of game of hunting for different bargains and finds, so I really enjoy that. I know some people might find it a bit of a burden, but you can save yourself quite a lot of money if you just shop smart. On top of that, I think it's really important to note that everything works in multiples. This is what I kind of go off of. We keep everything in a spreadsheet, but if you're looking at certain buys, although it might be a small saving on that one thing, if you add up all of the small savings, it does make a huge difference. And especially when it comes to like buying certain finishes, like light switches is a really good example, where you might think, oh, okay, well this light switch is only £5 more, but then when you kind of like multiply that up for how many you need, it does make an impactful amount. And if you have that mindset for absolutely everything, it can be quite easy to snowball with your budget. Number 4 is don't be afraid to say if things aren't right with your contractors. This is something that we have really struggled with, and we're getting better, but if you don't say something, they won't know and won't be able to rectify it. And there have been so many situations where we've been a bit too like not confrontation, that's not the right word, but just feeling a bit awkward about having certain conversations. And we've had it with more than one contractor as well, about stuff not being finished to the way we want, or just a bit disappointed. Like for example, with the guy who fitted our radiators, he fired black liquid everywhere in like 3 different rooms. One of them was our kitchen, which had just been painted white. He fired this black, I think it's like zinc or something, comes out of the radiators, black liquid all over the floors, up the newly painted walls. He did it in our master bedroom and also in our guest bedroom as well. And we were just kind of like, oh yeah, that's fine. And I think sometimes like people have the mindset when you're living in a renovation, they treat it like a project rather than a home. But in reality, we didn't want to say like, that's really gross and it stained everything. And like just certain things, like with our bathroom as well, there were loads of really small things that I was unhappy with. And I mean, I will put my hand up and say that I got Steve to have the conversation for me, but like, it's important to let them know, anyone who is working on your home, let them know if there is anything that you are unhappy with. In that circumstance with the bathroom, he was like, 100%, I'll come back, I'll sort all those things. And it was fine. But I feel like sometimes we big it up more than it actually is. But just be honest, have an open conversation. You know, it doesn't need to be confrontational, but make sure that you are saying if things aren't right or they're not looking or feeling the way that you want them to. It's really important to say it. So 5th thing we've got here is with larger items, order them early. So in particular, we're talking about like windows and doors. This may not be the case for everyone, but it was for us. We actually got quotes like in January time, and we took a couple of months to make a decision, thinking it would only take like, I don't know, 6 weeks. And it was months and months and months that we had to wait for our windows and doors. They were all custom size, so they have to make them. But I don't know if it's because it was the anthracite. I think we had a back order on our front door. I don't know, whatever the situation was, but we had to wait so long to get all of our windows and doors. And we kind of wished that we had put the order in earlier because we weren't aware of that at the time. So I don't know if that's the case for everyone. I know for some like kitchens or something, you may need to like get the order in early, but just be mindful of like big order items like that. May take a little bit longer than you think they might take. I do feel like we were unlucky with that, but just in case. So our 6th point is get multiple quotes. Don't get me wrong, we very much had that mindset before we moved into this house anyway, but I feel like having lived here and gotten numerous quotes, it does kind of make you realise how important that point is, basically, because we have had people come and quote for the same jobs and they've been vastly different. So like, we're talking about a difference of like thousands of pounds. So it's definitely worth getting. I would say 3 is a good number to get people to come and quote, because it gives you a good kind of like gauge whether someone's overpricing or like seems really weirdly underpriced. But it's definitely good to get a gauge of what the kind of going rate is. And to add on to that, if you're looking to get quotes for work in your house, I used to try to check a trade, but literally everyone just ghosts me on that. The thing that we've had most success with is mybuilder.com. You basically post a job and you can put photos, you can write a description or whatever and say what kind of tradespeople you want to come and quote for it, and people will like message you and put themselves forward for your job, which is great. You don't have to do the hard work of like contacting those people. They basically just come to you, and you can kind of shortlist people that you do want to come around and chat to. They've got reviews, so you can check out their previous work. Yeah, it's kind of like putting out a profile for tradespeople to come and check out jobs and stuff that they may want to do. So that has been really helpful. I will link that down below because honestly, it's been a lifesaver. And last but not least, point 7 is go with your gut. So when we moved in here, this is one thing Steve and I agreed on, was like, in particular with having people come into our home and do work, if we didn't get a good vibe off of them, we said we would just go with our gut, and like we would only have people come into our house and do work if we had like a good vibe. Not saying that we need to be busy mates with everyone, but like communication is key. And like, I feel like you do just generally get like a vibe off of people, whether you feel like, I don't know how to explain it, it's just a vibe. But we've definitely gone with that since we've been here. Also things like, you know, making big decisions. I in particular find that really scary because I make all the design decisions in the house, and Steve is very just like, yeah, looks great, go with it sort of thing. And I'm the one who like second guesses absolutely everything. So I would say go with your gut in terms of like making big decisions and things like that. I have wasted so much time and energy kind of second guessing literally every minute detail, and then I've just ended up going with my gut feeling anyway. So I could have saved myself a lot of hassle just by going with my gut in the first place. And that is everything, guys. So I'm sure we're going to learn a lot more lessons as we go along. We've definitely not finished this project yet. We've got loads more to do. I have just finished sharing the bathroom transformation, so make sure you guys check that out. And we are currently working on our master bedroom transformation as well, which I am so excited about because, like I said, it was one of the first rooms that we touched when we moved into the house. We did a little mini makeover, and now it's getting a full-on like glam treatment, and it's all changing. So make sure you guys are subscribed so you don't miss out on any future renovation and home decor videos. I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, don't forget to give it a thumbs up because it really supports my channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one.